that's booked first. That's the fresh page. I am going to ask you, although we will be working on the worksheets, your objective is to use correct order of order of operations to, this might be a new word for you, evaluate. Now you good with evaluate?
Basically means
To evaluate calculations correctly. Okay, so this word here, this is why I wanted you to write it down. This word evaluate is an important one because quite often in assessments, people say evaluate this, and people say, what does evaluate mean? So, for instance, if I said evaluate 3 plus 7, you would tell me that the answer to that is 7. Okay, that would be your answer. You would be correct. So that's what that word. So I want you to write in your book. We can do the calculations on your worksheet. However, let's write out what the order of operations should be first, just in case. How do you remember? Check.
no, I know it though, but I just
You know them, you don't.
yeah, I don't know how to.
Elton?
Those.
Okay, that's one option. Pen. Das. Does anyone else have anything different? Bed maps. Sorry, let me know if you're not finished writing. Should I pause or are we good? Speak up, man. Yeah, you want to pause? Okay. If you know what PEMDAS stands for, write it out in your book. If not, write down your version of it. Okay, so let's just talk about who remembers the P then. Okay. Parentheses. Can't write down. What's that? And how do you spell it?
ESIS.
E-S-E-S.
Yes.
Are you sure? So I'm not an English teacher.
I wasn't sure.
I think it's an E-S-E-S.
I put
Parenthesis. Seeds. So for you to check out. Next.
No,
Go for it.
This is singular.
oh, wait. Yeah.
So it should be parentheses. And E. We're still correcting the mistake. Anyone know what the E is? Alan. Go for it, Ban. Exponents. Good. M is for multiply. But there is something we need to be aware, isn't there? And it's really hard. I just right to that. Okay, does anyone else change any of those passes? No? I do. I don't use PEMDAS. I use, I'm this I'm going to write BidMaps because I've got brackets instead of parentheses. No trouble spelling that. And I've got indices instead of exponents. But that's fine. Alright, so that's the order of operation. Anyone got any comments about these ones? Multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, any additional notes we should be aware of? James? Yeah. Good. Should we put a note? Does everyone understand what you just said there?
Yeah.
It's the whole left to right thing. If you've got multiplication and division in the same problem, you do whatever comes first on the left, work left to right. So just because it says MD there doesn't mean always do multiplication.
Will you repeat it?
Could be DM. Left to right, yeah. Okay. So should we have a look at your sheets? Let's have a look. Basic one then. This has how many operations?
Wait, two.
2. And what are they? I've got an add and a divide. So that's my first step, is to identify what I've got to do. How many things? There's actually 2 questions in one because I've got 2 operations. Which one must I do first? Callie, you know? We could, I don't need to, okay? Because of my order of operations, I don't need to. I can just do the thing I know should be done first. Do you think the plus should be done first? Does anyone disagree or agree? What do you think? What do you think? So we've got 2 options now. One person says do the add. It makes sense. The add is on the left. Do it first. But Mina says do the divide first because what do we do first? Do you agree with it? Do the divide first. It is doing divide first. Now, here's one thing I want you to focus on. So some of you have rattling through already, but you're not thinking about how you're going to get a good communication score. So we need to make sure we communicate very clearly. I don't want to see lots of equals, 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 equals along a line, because I'll explain this to you in the future, but if you use an equal sign incorrectly, basically you're lying in your communication. One thing has to equal another, and if you write lots of things, it might not be true. So what I'm actually going to do is I always work down, and I make it very clear what I've done. So I'm now going to keep the 8 plus there, and I'm going to write the answer to 96 divided by 2, which is 48.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you notice how I kept the 8 plus? Now, there's a really important reason which I will ask you about when you come up against subtractions and things. I see the same mistakes pop up. And it's getting subtractions the wrong way around because they start just writing things randomly. So I would like you to try and do what I'm doing and write down if you can. And then I can say that the answer to 8 plus 48, I'm on my last step. So now I can say that equals 50. Okay. That's a nice symbol.
Can I do it this way? Same.
I will say you can do whatever you like, work in whatever way you like to work, but if I have to assess your communication, it's not very good, as long as you don't expect a good score on that. It's not just about the right answer. So I'll have a look and see. As long as you accept if I say no, but it's all good. Right, how about that? How do you feel about this first sheet? Alright, should we have a quick look at the second one first?
I think we got it.
Right,
Yeah.
hang on. What does the second sheet do differently to the first sheet? Mina. So there's subtraction in there as well, plus there's also more numbers and also more operations. Let's look at the third sheet.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, just a bit more. Look at the next sheet. Tell me what happens.
Oh. Oh. What are
Brackets around brackets are just more brackets. What do? So you go, you do the brackets first, and you look in the brackets, and there are more brackets, so you have to do those brackets first. So this is why it's super important to move out. Now you might find if you get to these, you're going to need to lay it out in the maths book. Yeah, right. Don't squeeze it into this space. Now let me. Well, like I'm going to do always, if you think page 1 is where you're at right now, and you want some practice, you go for page 1. If you think that you're good to head on to page 2, you go on to page 2. If you think page 3 looks more like your starting point, you go to page 3. I am going to insist, though, that you start page 3.
Sorry,
Put your hand up for me. Who is starting on page 3? Okay. Starting page 2? Okay. Give me an idea. I will shut up now and I'll let you